But first today, we're starting off with a topic that hits close to the heart. If there was a year, ever was a year, to get your family excited about service during the holidays, this is that year. You may have noticed many people are getting into the true spirit of Christmas by doing acts of service and then posting about it on social media using the trending hashtag #LightTheWorld. This is part of a worldwide Christmas campaign put out by the LDS Church. They're asking people to focus on Christ-like behavior for the 25 days in December leading up to Christmas Day. As you'll see, the movement is inspiring, even I'd call it contagious as well. We reached out to a handful of women who love to serve with their families and asked them to share their own service-oriented traditions in light of this inspiring campaign. Check it out.
Last year, we did something called the Candy Cane Bomb, and apparently my kids thought it was amazing because it's one of the first things they've asked to do again this year. All we did was take dozens of candy canes to a random parking lot, and we hung the candy canes from car door handles and the side view mirrors. That was it, and my kids thought it was awesome.
One of our family's favorite Christmas traditions is Christmas Eve. We bake pumpkin loaves, wrap them in tea towels, and go caroling to fire stations. It's just our way of saying thank you for taking time away from their holidays with their families to make sure the rest of us are watched over and protected.
One of our favorite Christmas family traditions is bringing dinner in a box to newlyweds or young families. We gather everything that you need to make a Christmas dinner, from the turkey all the way to the candlesticks, and leave it on someone's doorstep anonymously.
The last few years, my kids have run their own cocoa stand where they take canned food items instead of money, and we donate them to the local food bank. It's always really fun to see the neighborhood kids coming over with their bags of food, and we call it the Cup for a Can cocoa stand.
We think it's a fun and thoughtful way to bring the spirit of the season to their home.
Fun and thoughtful for sure, and we'll pick it up from there. Joining me is Jamie Cook with the Instagram page Wander and Scout. So good to have you here. And I love this topic. What a great way to kick off our show today. You put the call out on your Instagram, Wander and Scout, asking women to share what they do this time of year seasonally to offer service. You even said, don't be afraid to brag. Put it out there.
Yes, I wanted to know big things and small things, just the tradition of service that people have in their families. And I honestly didn't even know if people would respond. I got a huge response. I think over 150 people responded. And as I spent like 2 hours going through and reading all of these messages, just like kind of like really tearing up, seeing the goodness of people's hearts in finding ways to really thoughtfully serve.
People are good, and this time of year just brings that out. It highlights the very best in humanity, which I think we could use right now.
Definitely.
In society. You've pulled a few of those ideas from your Facebook page, sharing from your readers, your followers, some ideas that I think will inspire all of us. The first one is a service advent calendar. How does this work?
Yeah, okay, so a friend Danielle sent this idea. So we all know about the advent where you get the little chocolates out of the windows,
yes,
and my kids love this. But this one is a service advent. So she comes up with a whole bunch of different ideas, puts them on little strips of paper and puts them in her little advent calendar. And then each day they do a little act of service. So it could be something big or something small. But a few that she's done that I think are really special are when they decorate their mailbox and put a little something in it for the mailman.
Okay, that's darling.
Just like so easy and fun and
yes,
brightens his or her day, I'm sure. They go through their toys and donate some of the gently used toys, which is easier said than done with little kids sometimes. They want to hang on to those. They make cheerful Christmas cards or holiday cards to send to kids in hospitals that might need a little pick-me-up.
What I love about all of these is they're on the children's level, right? You're teaching service, but in a way they can appreciate and relate.
They can totally jump in and do it. Yeah, so those are just a few. Oh, one more, they choose a favorite meaningful Christmas book and then they doorbell ditch and leave it on someone's door.
Cute. So there's the thrill of the doorbell ditch.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is fun in its own right. I love that. A service advent calendar. Another idea is one that you actually, I understand, did with your own grandma. With your own grandma?
Okay, well, my grandma since passed away. So she would love to be watching this right now. So I'm going to have to try to hold back the emotions.
I'm sorry, those tender memories.
I know. So probably about 10 years ago, she decided, you know what, I have more stuff than I need. So no more gifts for grandma, right? She's like, instead, I'd love it if my 13 grandkids would, throughout the year, find ways to serve other people. And then write me a letter about it and stick it in a white envelope. And on Christmas morning, decorate the tree in these white envelopes.
Oh my gosh, I have chills. Look at that.
Isn't that like the sweetest?
How special.
And it really has become the tradition in our family that's unified us, that's helped us take a break from the commercialism of Christmas and just zero in on ways to help other people. So
Well, as the matriarch, her setting that tone for your whole family in that example. That's
yes, and she would
huge.
read them out loud, and so then we would get to hear of all the ways our cousins and siblings served throughout the year. So a few of them were, my brother and his family did a coat drive to collect coats for Burmese refugees, and my cousin, in lieu of Christmas gifts, donated money for water in Africa, for clean water, and I taught English lessons to a Pakistani friend, and so it's just really special for our family to come together in this fun tradition.
I have to think the feeling in that room as your grandma's reading those white envelope letters and you're all sharing, there had to be this little sense of like pride and power, like our family did this. That must have been really neat.
And we're an emotional family, so not a dry eye.
A lot of
among the
Kleenexes
events.
flying around as well. Oh, that's awesome. What was your grandma's name?
Nita.
Sweet Nita. That is so, I'm so glad you were able to share that with us. Next idea is a nice way to serve the homeless community this time of year. Explain this.
Yes. Okay. So my friend Clarissa, we became friends when we were living in San Francisco. She still lives there, and there's a huge homeless population there. So she, for the last 4 years, they've gotten together with friends, and they make these beautiful gift baskets.
Oh, wow.
And they fill them with.
Those are a lot of baskets.
I know. Isn't that so cute? That picture. So they fill them with things like toothbrushes and toothpaste and shampoo and conditioner, and also fun things, gift cards and food and, you know, peppermints and just lots of little things. And then they go as friends and they get to personally deliver them to people in need.
Love it. Love it. That tangible hands-on service, hand to hand. Your last idea, helping kids also get excited about this idea of service and helping others. And I've heard about this, the Giving Manger.
The Giving Manger. I love this. We just got this last year. It's just a little baby Jesus in a little manger. And each day the kids get to add straw to the manger. So by Christmas Day, the little manger is supposed to be full of straw, representing the acts of service. And so it's like a cozy little place for
I love
to
how
put the baby
simple
Jesus.
it is.
It's so simple. And you know
Yeah.
what? That's my big thing. It's funny because as this Light the World campaign has come out, I was like so gung-ho and so excited about it. And I started thinking big. I was like, I'm gonna host a blood drive, right? I'm gonna go throw a Christmas party for these refugee preschoolers, and I'm gonna do all these things. And they were such good ideas. And then I started feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. And you know what? I have 4 little kids at home, and maybe right now that's not
Right.
the best thing for me to be doing. Maybe there's smaller, simpler ways that I can be serving in my neighborhood, in my community. And so that's why I love the Giving Manger idea. It doesn't hold you to any timeline or anything.
Right,
It's just
right.
putting an emphasis on sort of the meaning behind the whole season.
And the spirit behind this campaign, this Light the World campaign, which is so impressive, it does trickle down from big to small. I was
Yes.
talking to my 70-year-old neighbor, and she's participating in her own way. She's not posting pictures on social media. She doesn't even know what social media is, but it's getting people inspired to really focus on the true meaning of the season, and you've helped us do that today. Thank you so much. I imagine that thread on your Instagram account is a pretty great resource
yes,
as well.
go read it. Go read it at Wander and Scout, because it's pretty inspiring. There's some really good ones in there.
Awesome. Jamie, great to see you. Merry Christmas.